Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Happy New Year. We're starting off 2024. This is the Wednesday, January 24, 2024 meeting of the Board of Oil, Gas, and Mining here in Salt Lake City. And I think we are going to start off with Mr. Thomas, our new director here for the division, taking Mr. Baza's seat up here and moving forward here to introduce us to the briefing session.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. It's an honor to be here. I was humbled to be able to fill the role of director a simple 2.5 weeks ago. It's been a bit of a fire hose, but I'm really enjoying the staff, the legislature, and everyone I'm working with here in Utah. You have an excellent program, and well, I'm just thankful to be here. Thank you. My initial notes and discussions this morning are going to be brief. I hope you all understand I'm still coming up to speed on a number of topics. I will, after some conversation between myself and y'all, invite Natasha Bailiff up to provide a legislative update. But I can say in the first few weeks, some things have come to my attention that I think have gone very well, and I'd like to update the board on. About a week and a half ago, we traveled to Price and had a very good collaborative meeting between a number of stakeholders there, the counties, and the division. I attended it virtually, but I think some of you were there also. Mr. Walker, I think, attended. So I invite a discussion there if you all would like to provide your input of that. I think some of you attended it virtually as well, and I think it came across as a very good discussion. There was a lot of substantive talk regarding energy transfer, energy consolidation. As a geologist, I was a little bit geeked out by the very cool discussion on salt and how the molten salts are used as a sort of a storage method for a lot of solar energy. But it was a good conversation. I invite any of you to provide comment at that time on this topic.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Appreciate it. And welcome to our monthly proceedings. Yes, I would agree that the Price and Emery, or the Carbon and Emery County Oil and Gas or Energy Collaborative was very well attended and very well conducted by the division. I would urge members of the board to attend. It's not all on oil, gas, and mining, but there are other ancillary topics that come up regarding energy that are important to us and good general background. The next one, I know Dr. Andrew Fry is going to be presenting on the San Juan Energy Resource Center or Research Center. And so Andrew is a phenomenal scientist, and I'd urge you to attend if you can. Thanks.
Does that meeting have a name yet? Is it the collaborative meeting, or are they calling it something else?
I think it's called the Carbon and Emery County Energy Collaborative.
Okay. Yeah, we would encourage anyone who's available to attend those meetings as they come up. I don't know, are they published anywhere? Like, is it on the DOGM page or anything?
Well, DOGM does that one just like they do the UINTA Basin Oil and Gas Collaborative.
Good deal.
Thank you very much. And also, as a part of this initial introduction, I've met some of you historically and before, and some of you I just met for the first time maybe 30 minutes ago. So it's been quite a pleasure. I'll, at your discretion, Mr. Chair, open the floor if any of you have any questions you'd like to ask of me. My profile has been published and sent out. I think some of you know my background, but if you have any specific questions or any really topics you'd like to have on the record right now, feel free to, I open up the floor at your discretion.
This part of our agenda is pretty free form, and so if there is anyone in the audience or on the board who would like to converse with Director Thomas, please feel free to do so for a couple minutes here.
Director Thomas, how did you land a job in Hawaii?
It ended with a plane landing, Mr. Church. I was over mid-continent operations for an oil and gas operator in Oklahoma City up until early 2016. The market changed, and I had the opportunity to seek another career, as politely as I could put that. Rather than compete with about 25,000 geologists in the state of Oklahoma, I called and applied in Hawaii, and because of my field experience in oil and gas drilling, I started as a mudlogger some years ago and was able to work my way up, so to speak. Because of that, they were very interested in that skill set because of the geothermal development on the Big Island there. And you drill a geothermal well in a very similar way with the same kind of crews. In fact, they used Schlumberger to do a lot of the drilling. And because of that skill set, I was actually certified as a company man at one point, and so I was able to land that job. It was a marvelous place to live, make no mistake, but my wife and daughters were still living in Edmond, Oklahoma, and that was a bit of a brutal commute, frankly, to come back on a monthly basis. And so, but it was a blast. I really enjoyed a lot and had a lot of development there. I encourage any of you to move there once you win $3 or $4 million to buy a house.
Okay, shall we move along to the next item?
Certainly, thank you. Chairman, members of the board, I have Natasha to my left, and she's going to provide a legislative update at this time.
Okay, as I'm getting my computer.
It's worth noting that she had at least, 8 to 10 hours worth of prep work if you include overnights to prepare for this. So she's just doing a great job.
Okay, that is tiny. Okay, perfect. This is working. Hi, good morning. I'm Natasha Baliff. I'm the Legislative and Policy Coordinator for the division, and I'm going to give a legislative update today. It will probably be a lot of duplicate information from my emails that I send out, but I figured why not share it anyway. So starting off, we have House Bill 36. This is the Open and Public Meetings Act, and this will change the definition of meeting, and it adds things that a meeting is not. So it talks about a quorum gathering if it's not initiated by the public body, that's okay, and as long as the entire public body is invited and that there's no action taken by the public body as a public body. So that's one that we will be watching throughout the session. We have House Bill 59. This is federal fund contingency planning, and it will require state agencies who receive federal funds to submit a contingency plan anytime they are getting new funds or reauthorization of federal funds. This is one that we've put a small fiscal note on. I mean, it's just an extra step that would be tossed into the process. It was heard in committee yesterday, and it's mainly for Medicare and Medicaid purposes, and it's part of the Health and Human Services Committee, but it does apply to other state agencies, and we fall under that. We have House Bill 230, and this is state agency application review, and this will require us to respond to applications within a specific time frame. It gives us 15 days to respond saying it's complete or not, and then we'll have to approve or deny it within 30 days. This is one that caused quite a bit of uproar throughout, DNR as a whole, and we ended up finding out it only applies to DNR, DEQ, and Department of Commerce. This is one that we have met and worked with the representative on. I do think that it will be held and put into a study throughout the coming year, but still watching it, making sure it doesn't really go anywhere. But after looking into it, we're not as concerned as we were in the beginning, looking at our current application review times, and I think that we would be able to fall into that with some changes. We have House Bill 295, produced water amendments, and this will allow produced water to be used in oil and gas operations without applying for a water right. And this bill is actually heard today in the House Natural Resources Committee, the House Natural Resources Subcommittee. It will be in the Senate building, room 210, if anyone is interested. at 2 p.m. I don't know if I said that before. 2 p.m., Senate Building, room 210, if anyone is interested. House Bill 353, this actually just came out, I believe, on Monday afternoon, and this is one that we've been working with the representative on. This will move the minerals mine public comment process to the beginning of the review process. So once the division has determined that we have a complete application, that will start the public comment process. Right now it's towards the end and we give a tentative approval, and this just streamlines the process overall. It also adds a definition for substantive public comment, giving us some guardrails within the comments that we need to respond to. And then Senate Bill 75 is mineral amendments. This one will be addressing the mineral exploration tax credit. If you remember that bill from a couple years ago, I believe it was 2022 that it was passed. And this one will remove the requirement that it needs to be a closed mine, and it adds to the exploration activity definition. And it also adds that if a mineral is greater than 50% net import within the U.S., the tax credit can be up to $30 million, where all of the other instances, the bill said $20 million. But I will open it up to any questions if you guys have any.
Board, do you have any questions? Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have a question? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That's all we have.
Okay, we have next month's agenda and division calendar. Are there any changes or comments on that from anyone? Okay, and we have an opportunity now for public comment. If there is anyone in the audience who'd like to address the board on any issues ongoing with us. Okay. Hearing none or seeing none. Board, do you have anything you'd like discussed in this briefing session, or are we? We're pretty quiet this month. It's not always this easy.
Actually, I did remember something that I forgot to mention.
Okay.
Every year, the division has to give an update, a legislative update to the Natural Resources Subcommittee. That's what we're doing on Friday. So if anyone is interested, we will be presenting to the Joint Natural Resources, Agriculture and Environmental Quality Committee, and that starts at 8 a.m. We are currently last on the agenda. That could change, but I figured I would.
What
Give the
room is that, do
opportunity.
you know?
I believe it's 2:15. It's usually that main room on the Senate, in the Senate
That's on
building.
Friday.
On Friday morning, yep.
Do they streamline those?
Yes, they are available online. You'll just have to go to the committee page, and then they'll have you can either participate in it, or there's usually a link to just watch.
Good, thank you. Thank you for that notice. Seeing no further business, I guess we will adjourn until, or adjourn, until 10 with our official meeting. Thank you. We are adjourned.